Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me today is 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗥𝗏 Iyerji. We did a time swap. He usually comes at 10 p.m. but today he's coming in at 8 p.m. and Sumit Peer will be here at 10 p.m. So let's welcome 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗥𝗏 Iyerji. 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗥𝗏, namaskar and how are you, sir?
Namaskar, Shree, namaskar. Well, the Prime Minister has completed his mission in Washington and he's headed to India. But the lot of focus is not Modi's return, but a second US aircraft carrying 119 illegal migrants is to land in Amritsar late this evening. And there's a lot of politics over that. We will talk about it. But first, Modi's visit. I'm sure we are interested to hear, what is the perception from Washington and how we see it in India. Well, in terms of the issues that were there before Modi went to the US and the kind of statements that were coming from President Trump about trade and tariff and, how it's all about buy American versus make in India, and Trump's frequent emphasis that we are a reciprocal nation. If you do this to us, we'll do this to you, both positively and negatively. So there was a lot of anxiety here, actually, Sree, as to what will be the outcome. So there was a lot of focus in that 3 and more than almost 4-hour kind of discussions that Modi had with President Trump, as well as he met all the key functionaries of the new administration, everyone. And after that, the joint statement and the press conference. So people have been, reading into that statements, into the observations made by President Trump and Prime Minister Modi, and trying to figure out whether the mission was accomplished. Now, as the Prime Minister is headed to India, I've been talking to some of the officials here in New Delhi, and they tell me that, yes, trade and tariff was a very big part of the discussions, but it's not something that it is going to be, win for America and a loss for India. It's not like that. It's rather going to be more of a win-win situation finally. By the time, we look at a trade, multi-sectoral trade agreement, which is expected by November of this year. By then, we are going to see that both sides will reduce, tariff, which is preventing our products being able to compete in American markets. And similarly, definitely Trump will see that some of the barriers that he sees to American products in the Indian market, they are gradually lifted. But this is not going to be some dramatic announcements. But what I got to hear from people from Commerce Ministry and as well as from other officials of the government of India is that straight away you have seen, even before Prime Minister Modi landed in Washington from Paris, government had announced reduction in duty on the Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Now, before Modi returns to India, we have seen new announcements about reduction in the prices of American wines, particularly the Californian wine, as well as particular types of whiskey like bourbon whiskey. I mean, these are the things that America is very keen that, that the Indian market is opened up. That should not be difficulty. But what we are looking for from Indian side is particularly boost for our textile export to United States, textile and leather, because I'm told that they carry a 40% tariff from the American side. So, that's a big thing for us in terms of textile, because we are competing with countries like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, lot of textile exports graphibia. And we have a huge apparel industry, stretching from Coimbatore to Mumbai to Surat in Gujarat. So what we are getting the sense is that it is going to be win-win. Of course, critics of Modi are looking at that Washington press conference to say that it was Modi who was heaping praise on Trump, and Trump was not so, he was talking more business and he was very precise, but Modi was sounding more. But I don't think that's the sense everyone got. Well, when diplomats organize these meetings, there is a lot of flowery language and all that. But I think both sides managed to say what they wanted to say in the meeting which happened inside the White House. though their public statements may not reflect. So one question that is being asked is, did Modi forcefully argue about how that American establishment, particularly on traded tariff, the need even for allow more Indian products? Well, the answer I am getting is yes. Did Modi take up the issue of the mistreatment of deportees? Was it taken up? I am told yes, but it was not reflected in the statement. So, and then the questions are also being asked about, did Trump pressurize by making India, by announcing that India is going to buy high-grade military hardware like F-35A manufactured by the Lockheed Industries? Because he made that announcement. Now, Indian side says, look, there is a proposal. Trump did offer this 5th generation aircraft. Now for India, we are still working on that 4th generation multi-combat aircraft. And even the Air Force Chief recently, Indian Air Force Chief, was at the Bengaluru, Aero exhibition, Aero India. He openly was not satisfactory with the work that is being done in this regard by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Of course, last March, the Union Cabinet had set aside 50,000 crores for development of this. But so the direct challenge is, when I talk to my friends in the defense, they tell me, look, F-35A, the Lightning II, this aircraft is only sold to the NATO member countries. And China has already got J-20, its 5th generation aircraft, which is already stationed across the line of actual control in all the air bases that the air bases along that part of China. So where they already have a 5th generation aircraft and they are going to sell a modified one to Pakistan. So for us, in terms of Air Force, if you ask the Indian Air Force, they are quite excited about the Trump's offer, because in terms of, we cannot disclose the exact number of aircraft that the fighter aircraft that India has, but to give our viewers a sense of the way the scales are tilted at this moment, China has got more than 2,500 fighter aircraft of the latest variety of various types, of which the 5th generation J-20 is one, and India has got about close to say 600. So we are short of about we need to have, in terms of Air Force parlance, we need to have 42.5 squadron, they say. But right now we are having only 35 or so. So we need another 5-6 squadrons. That is about, say, another 50 aircraft or 54 aircraft, 36 to 54 aircraft, but they have to be the latest, because the Chinese threat is real, because they have a very far superior aircraft. We have a variety of aircraft. We have the Rafale, we have the Mirage, we still have Sukhoi. Of course, Russians are also willing to offer us their latest Sukhoi. And as we discussed in the Hindi discussions, in Bengaluru, we saw both the latest Sukhoi and the F-35A on display there. So they were on the runway, on the same runway. You won't find them anywhere in the world. So India is a big market for hardware military. So, and the military sales, India needs it because of a threat perception, because we need to not just guard the northern frontiers, but we need to look at the seas also, Indian Ocean, the vast ocean, and America, particularly at the Quad countries, depend on India to keep an eye on the sea lanes. So which means our requirements are more and we need to do it faster. So somewhere along, I think the Trump's offer will be studied in detail, and then the proposal, formal proposal, and by the time a decision is taken, what do we buy finally? So it's going to be a long way. But the fact that an offer has come, it has excited our, and apart from that, sir, there are other aspects of defense. But the sense I'm getting here is that this visit, despite all the misgivings about Trump being unpredictable and he can be blunt and all that, the meeting has gone well in terms of symbolically as well as in substantive manner, that we are getting to hear from our people who are part of the whole process of the discussions and subsequent follow-ups to be taken. So that is there. Of course, the elephant in the room, it was not even an elephant, it was a real elephant in the room, was, of course, $45 billion huge surplus in the sense India buys 45, I mean, more than $45 billion worth, I mean, more than what Americans are able to sell here. India is able to push $45 billion worth of its goods.
So the numbers are right up there on the screen. Shekhar-ji, the numbers are right up in the screen. India exports 77.5 billion to US and US exports 40.77 billion to India. So the imbalance is 36.74 billion. And that is what, is a bone of contention for US. They're saying bring parity, put up your shops here. So there is one easy solution for that, sir. But I'll let you finish your statement. Then I'll come back to that on what exactly is the easy solution, sir.
Yeah. So I mean, you can see that one way, as Trump himself said, India will buy more of its oil, more gas. We are already doing some. We can buy more. Of course, India has always kept its sources of its energy, varied for the reasons that we get the best price. We have been buying from Russia despite the Ukraine war. We have been buying from America for a long time. We are buying from Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar. So in terms of sources, we have got multiple sources. But that will stay that way. But definitely there is scope for increasing purchase of oil. That should, take care of this. Sir, but overall, one thing I think that, I mean, there are other details we can talk, but I mean, we will talk about it. First, I take your response. But one thing is clear, sir. If Trump is about making America great again, and he feels that he has that mandate and the responsibility to push American interests and America's, the core business interests or corporate interests. Similarly, Modi has the mandate to think of Indian interests, to push India's case for greater growth, faster growth, and self-reliant growth. I mean, that is a point he made when people are, some people are saying, what is this talk of make America great again, then make India great again, BIGA and, MAGA, what is... Now, these are not just empty slogans, because what the Modi managed to do there, that he has as much responsibility as perhaps Trump thinks to advance India's interests, like Trump has to do with American interests. I think that broadly came out. I mean, that broadly, if you look at the statements, the question answers, and statement itself has been read very carefully. And when our diplomats work on this with their counterparts, they naturally take into account that every sentence reflects. So overall, I think the sense one gets is, well, it may be Buy American versus Make in India, because trade played a big part. But the problem is not that, in terms of Trump did not say anything which would have made Indian Prime Minister feel, he was insulted, or he was, that thing Trump avoided. Trump is capable of doing that kind of, conversation which could be considered, rude or nasty. That didn't happen. Yes, because America has more trade and tariff problems and migrant problems more than with India, with the countries like Mexico, Canada, but not so much, and China. China is a bigger problem when it comes to trade. But we did see the exchanges were conducted in normally the way heads of state conduct, so to that extent. But there are other things, sir, in terms of fighting radical Islam, and Trump announced the extradition of the Taunur Rana.
Yeah.
Taunur Rana. Then I'm told, though it was not publicly stated, the Gurpant Singh Pannu matters, I mean the Khalistan Sikhs for Justice organization. Though Trump said, look, when a question was asked in the press conference that, every American life is very important for us, that was seen as a kind of support for Gurwant, because the so-called assassination bid on Gurwant. But in the joint statement, which our diplomats have pointed out, that it has been very clearly said that it has been pointed out that there has to be a joint in terms of whoever threatens the security interests of both countries, we will have to act together, particularly terrorist groups, militant groups. So if it is question answer and Trump's observation, and the joint statement is very clear that we will have to work towards safety of our citizens and diplomats in both the countries. So that clears it when it comes to the organization, whether there will be action on the Sikh extremists in America. Over to you, Shreyas. We would like to hear how do you look at this whole thing that has happened in the past 48 hours?
Yes, sir. And India has been quick to react to many of the statements that Trump made. I'm just going to bring it up. One second, sir. I'm going to bring up a chart, the same thing that you put up, to try and show our viewers the disparity in terms of exports to import. The disparity is around $36.74 billion. Now, this gap can be easily plugged if India starts buying natural gas and petrol or crude from the United States. Now, I heard a statement from Hardeep Puri that if US is able to match the price of Russia at the landing, because that's what India does. India leaves it to the seller to take care of the ship, its registry, its insurance, all that stuff. The landed cost is all India is looking at India's shores. If they can match the price with somebody else, India said that yes, we would be happy to buy crude from America. There are some nuances, Shekharji. See, depends upon what kind of crude India is getting. If it is shale crude, the refinery may have to have some changes to go from shale crude to refined product. There are nuances. Not all crude is the same. There is sweet crude, which is supposed to have less sulfuric content, and there is hard crude, which is supposed to have more sulfuric content. I'm not a petroleum engineer. I'm not an oil engineer. So I'm just giving you some big nuances here. But India is well equipped to take American crude, convert it into refining. So that, I think, that positive response from India tells Trump that, look, this gap can be bridged easily. And that gap is going to come at the expense of who? Well, it will be at the expense of all the other countries who are selling to India. So that balance has to be done. Most importantly, if India were to get liquefied natural gas from the United States, India needs to have a huge place to store it. Now, what I have heard is off of the coast of Kakinada in Andhra Pradesh, there's a company that is building a super storage tank. The storage tank is not on the ground, Shekharji, it is off the shore. It is in the sea. They're building actually a huge, think of it like a square, big square that will be sitting on the bed of the ocean and about 10 floors or 5 floors tall. And inside that, they are going to have the liquefied natural gas storage tank. And then on top of that, you'll have all the things like, for example, a gas pipeline going to the mainland, any other byproducts and things of that nature. This has been already done in 2 other countries, Spain and Norway. The same technology is coming to India. The CEO is actually Indian origin. I've listened to an interview with him, very articulate. He has done an interview with Major Gauravaria. Go take a look at it, viewers, if you want to know more about that. Point I'm trying to make is India is also becoming versatile at being able to get any form of gas. Because before, India used to take liquefied petroleum gas, LPG. So your cylinder today that you get in that orange color cylinder that you get, Shekharji, that is LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. Liquefied natural gas doesn't have any odor. So before you dispense it to the consumer, you need to add the odor. Otherwise, you will not know the leak. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So there are small nuances like this. Everything is going to be a little bit here, a little bit there. At the same time, a good execution company can do it. So this is what I see as an easy way to try and bring the parity. But the bigger picture, the bigger question, Shekharji, the bigger question is the other things that India is getting from US, which is all high altitude functioning equipment, anti-drone equipment, and so on and so forth. All these are being done to restore parity with China. Because if you look at what happened with vis-a-vis China, Shekharji, you take, for example, Kailash Point. India did a daring move, went to the higher side, and they were overlooking on the, that 7-point thing, that lake, Pangsong Lake or something like that. So they were able to overlook, and that scared the hell out of China. That's when they came back, and then they actually destroyed their own concrete bunkers. On that bunker, they had even put a Chinese flag too, just to irritate India. All that got destroyed, and they pulled back. At the same time, India has still allowed them to come more into the Indian side, even the dotted line 𝗟𝗡𝗍, than India going more into the Chinese side. So these are all happening because somewhere India is not sure that if there's a full-fledged conflict, how will India respond? And I think to bridge that gap, India is getting a lot of stuff from the United States. However, I must hasten to add that hardcore stuff that India needs, probably India is going to get it from Israel under the benign eye of US. Israel and India are going to be very critical partners moving forward. India will supply the critical labor components like tech force, semi-skilled labor, all the stuff that Israel needs. And the next thing I see, and I predicted this, and it is going to be coming out to be true, Jordan has said yes. Egypt is also now seriously thinking of saying yes to housing the Gazans in somewhere in the Sinai desert. That seems to be the place that seems to be, they are zeroing in on it. Major General Rajiv Narayanan came on my channel about a week ago. He already placed it out. He said 1, 2, 3 spots where this can be, and he even said this is the best spot if I were the person making the decision. So you get all that stuff from our videos viewers. Now, 𝗟𝗘𝗙𝗧, I want to show you a thumbnail graphic of what we did about 5-6 hours ago. MAGA plus MEGA is mega. MAGA is an acronym, MEGA is an acronym, but mega is actually a word. Mega meaning maha or big. So the takeaway here is, with the right amount of things in both sides, this partnership can go places. And like I said, we were one of the first ones to predict all the other things. For example, I had said that Trump would allow India free access to do whatever it wishes with Bangladesh, and that has turned out to be true. I thought that even 𝗤𝗙𝗏 will be touched upon. It has not been touched upon. Perhaps you can tell me, if the officials you spoke to, that Modi will have a free hand in dealing with 𝗤𝗙𝗏. The sequence I see, 𝗟𝗘𝗙𝗧, is first India will have to get all the equipment that India has promised to buy from US, high-speed altitude equipment, plus anti-drone equipment. All these things they'll get. Once they have that in place, then I expect India to move on 𝗤𝗙𝗏 to cut off China from being able to access into Pakistan. That's a major thing, because that will be first step. Next step, of course, would be 𝗥𝗙𝗏𝗁 Chin. I don't know when that will happen, 10, 20 years down the road, it doesn't matter. But this would really cut the umbilical cord for China. And right now, the way I see it, 𝗟𝗘𝗙𝗧, within 40 minutes, India can go to any critical point along the border. They can move troops, 40 minutes, 40. India has developed the road infrastructure, all-weather roads in Leh, Ladakh, going from the alternate route and things like that. India is ready to take on China, but they also need, see, the infrastructure is only one part. You also need the right kind of arms and ammunition. That's what India is getting from the United States. With that, I think there will be a slightly different way in which India would start dealing or engaging with China. Let's wait and see how that plays out.
𝗟𝗘𝗧, to add to what you said, you spoke about the well undersea storage. Already, Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates have agreements with India on creating a strategic reserve in India. You know, they have financed building of huge wells on the west coast, where the Saudi oil and the UAE oil are will be stocked in India, and India can use it and will pay for it. At the same time, because of the volatile situation in West Asia, they can even stock that surplus oil here in India. Already that proposal is there. Sir, one more thing, you know, we talked about the kind of preparation India is doing to face the Chinese threat and how the Americans will be of help. One interesting point I heard, sir, is during the discussion where the Trump Trump noted the tension that was seen on the border with China, the line of actual control. Of course, recently we have concluded some kind of an agreement to pull back. And Trump said America is willing to do, to offer some kind of, we are willing to help in this case. I think India was very careful. It did not say yes, but definitely showed that it didn't need an American role in between India and China, because India wants to keep the option of, normalization of ties with China. That is also an option. See, the best way to prepare for peace, or the best way to ensure peace, is to prepare for a war. That's why, why we need to militarily somewhat match China in the kind of technology. That is why, sir, these three agreements that are very clear, I think, is being pointed out as to whether Modi's visit was a success. First is a new 10-year pact. First pact was in 2005. Then in 2015, you had a mutual pact for 10 years. Again, now time for a third pact. And this pact, this is what will ensure all those latest things come, like your Javelin anti-tank missiles. Then you have got those combat vehicles, Striker combat pistol. Then more of these P-81 maritime patrol aircraft. And then there are going to be AI-enabled unmanned systems for underwater, kind of surveillance and vigilance. So that's a very important thing that's coming. Of course, Indian trade surplus, as you mentioned, that was the agreement, is that India will straight away hike, I'm told, the gas and oil imports, which is currently at $15 million. They are planning to do it, to take it up to $25 billion in the near future. But there are certain realities. And then I think in nuclear energy, nothing much has happened after the Indo-US civilian nuclear deal. There was discussion, and there is an agreement that the American firms would be engaged in developing some modular reactors, while India takes a re-look at the civil liability law, because this is the law came in the way of things moving forward, because Indian Parliament had insisted that both the supplier and the operator will be supplier of equipment, and the operator will be responsible in terms of liability in the event of a disaster or an accident, for which American firms were not willing to, did not see it worth taking the risk of making investment in this regard. But now I am told, it was mentioned in the finance minister's budget also, to see how we can look at nuclear energy as in terms of green energy, in the sense less polluting, though there will be issues about how you process the end fuel, things like that. But definitely nuclear energy has again got refocused under Modi government. So that is one thing. And the third angle, the third dimension, what I can see is, I think it's not much focused, is they have reached an agreement, what is called Strategic Mineral Recovery Initiative. This, I am told, is very, very significant, but it hasn't received the kind of publicity during these talks, which is basically, recovering key minerals from heavy industries like aluminium, coal mining, and this is one area where China is well endured with these key minerals. And that means looking at how we can develop our own lithium deposits, which is important in the e-vehicles. So these are some of the areas where a lot has happened. Now, one area I think everybody wants to know, yes, technology cooperation, innovation, more technology transfer, those issues were discussed. The question is immigration, because India made it very clear that we need to distinguish between legal migration and opening up, because India wants to take advantage of the demands from the services sector. So I think there was one thing came clear, is while Trump is keen on crackdown on illegal immigration, that they are open to allowing people through the legal means. Of course, there are two different views. One is the Elon Musk view and the other is the hardliners view. And interestingly, sir, I am told that both Elon Musk had a long discussion. Also, the hardliner Stephen Miller was also there in discussions with Modi. So Modi would have got an idea of, but from Trump, what is coming is, yes, US is open to more of these visas, whether it is H-1B visas or student visas or corporate, business visas. There is not going to be much change. Yes, there will be. India has also said, look, we do not support illegal immigration. And also, sir, I think Prime Minister's response at the press conference, when the question was asked about this illegal migration going on, the Prime Minister made it very clear it's the responsibility of authorities in India as well as in America to track down these people who are indulging in this human trafficking, the agents. Obviously, there are agents operating in America too, as well as, in Latin America. So both the countries need to crack down on these agents. This was something that was pointed out.
I must add one thing to what is. Sir, I must add one thing to what you just said, sir. Viewers, you look at all these caravans that were coming in the last few years. Did you notice one thing? Did you notice that almost everybody was just having one backpack? One backpack, and in their hand you will see a water bottle. And when you did a closer scrutiny, all backpacks look similar, all water bottles look similar. But what about the main bags? Evidently, there is the network. What you mentioned, sir, that network will make sure that your bags will come to where you are finally. So somewhere these people knew when they set foot in Honduras, Guatemala, Mexico, wherever they were starting their journey, that this is where their ultimate destination is going to be, and the bags will arrive there. This is like our Mumbai, the tiffin box system, sir. It doesn't matter where you live, the correct tiffin box will come to you. Remember that network that India has?
Yes. So that brings us to the question, sir. Now, a second aircraft is, landing tonight rather. And this is coming with 119 deportees. And of them, 67 are from Punjab, 33 are from Haryana, 8 from Gujarat, 3 from Uttar Pradesh, 1 each from Goa, Maharashtra, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir, and 2 are from Rajasthan. Now, since yesterday, Punjab CM Bhagwant Mann has made this a huge political issue, saying that why is Amritsar chosen for landing? This is to, badmouth Punjab, to give a bad name to Punjab. Sir, and incidentally, Congress is divided on this issue. The central Congress leaders, whether it is Chidambaram or Manish Tiwari, are saying that this is the test of Indian diplomacy, whether the second lot will be handcuffed and shackled or not. How are they going to be treated? And in Punjab, Congress leaders are asking a very pertinent question. Like the leader of the opposition, Pratap Bhaja, they are saying, look, in 2012, Punjab passed the Prevention of Human Smuggling Act, which regulates the profession of these trade agents, travel agents, and to curb the illegal and fraudulent. This was passed in 2012. Now, question that is being posed to the Punjab CM is, and he holds the home portfolio incidentally, let Punjabis know, let the people of Punjab know that the current government, how many travel agents have been booked under this law? Not a single agent has been booked under this law. So obviously, these agents who are operating in Punjab or in Haryana or wherever, they have some kind of arrangement where local political backing appears to be there. So, and at the same time now, Congress is also asking Mann, what about the rehab plan? Sir, people who went there with this whole, because somebody sold them an American dream. So they sold, some of them were doing some small business or whatever. But, to raise up to, some people have paid 1 crore, sold their land, sold their business. Now, these are not exactly very poor people. But somehow they believed they could, beat the law, beat the authorities and reach there. Now, obviously, given the American laws, because handcuffing is not permitted in India, following a Supreme Court observation. But in America, it's very normal that people are handcuffed, even at a stage when they are an accused. Here, nobody is handcuffed unless he is a great threat. So this being an issue being made, so people are watching when these aircraft arrive today, because one aircraft is coming February 15th, that is today, and another aircraft is coming tomorrow. And that is also going to bring at least 100 people. Now, since this is happening too soon after Modi's, in fact, Modi's arrival and this aircraft's arrival may coincide. Now, all kinds of questions are being asked. Why is it landing in Amritsar? Now, people are asking, the counter to this is, if 109 people are there, of which 90 and odd belong to Punjab and Haryana, would the aircraft land in Kanyakumari? So, and I'm told other things, sir. When the US authorities made a list, when they decided on batches, they asked these people the destination. And many of them said, look, we want to reach Punjab. There are a lot of people who were asked, they said they would like to be where they are close to home. This is also coming out. The deportees were also quizzed by the American officials before they boarded the aircraft, that which is their nearest and all of them mentioned that they would prefer close to their home. Now, Amritsar is also chosen for a simple reason, that for security reasons, because these people who land there will have to be, our security agencies will have to list them, they find out their background, check and see what papers they have. And today Congress in Delhi is saying, why not bring it to New Delhi? Why not make them land in IGI? Sir, they are not coming back from some great patriotic service to this country. They have violated the law. अरे माला पहन कर तो नहीं आ सकते ना. See, you have to know that these people risk. Yes, and there is a deeper issue. I mean, the deeper issue is, some people are saying the condition of Punjab's economic condition. Yes, that is one reason. And the second reason is how they've been duped. Who is indulging in this human trafficking? Who is indulging in this kabutarbaji? Who are these people? What are their political connections? Why no action has been taken under Aam Aadmi Party rule in Punjab? This question will also come. That question, because obviously, and they paid money, huge amounts of money. And many of the deportees, sir, who have been interviewed after reaching their respective villages, some of them are saying, look, we made a mistake. With that kind of money, we could have started a better business here. And today, several schemes under the Modi government, where Startup India, you can take Mudra Yojana, you can take some loan and start something. See, somewhere along, you have to realize that all these things, the dreams that are being sold, these are all false. And sir, one needs to focus on how these people reached. That story is even more horrible if you read each individual story. If you hear them, it's more horrible than they being put in a plane and brought here. And already, as I mentioned in our Hindi discussion, the American officials have pointed out, look, there are security concerns why when they are traveling in a military aircraft. Because the crew accompanying them, they'll have to manage 109 people, 100 odd people. And there is not enough people to, take care of each. See that they don't pose any threat during the flight. There are certain operational reasons. But this is no brand of patriotism. You just say they have been treated badly. What is this? How they are treating Indians? Sir, any nationality person, any national will be treated this way. It's another thing that in India, illegal migrants get Aadhaar card, and there are parties vying with one another to make them voters. See, we need to understand, and it is a problem here. Here, there are parties which have made them first. The leftists did it in West Bengal. Then Mamata, who had raised this issue of illegal voters coming from Bangladesh, subsequently found them, they are also, they're committed vote bank. So here also there is a racket. How people are brought in, they are given Aadhaar card, they are given ration card, they are given voter card. And these very parties are opposed to implementation of Citizenship Amendment Act. for those who are persecuted on religious lines. So there are certain realities, Shree, I think that needs to be seen. I mean, yes, the big question is all parties need to sit and ask, why is illegal migration happening? Now, basic question, sir. Because the whole thing is about aircraft landing in Amritsar, US aircraft. Now, if it were to land anywhere else, does it change the reality that is Punjab? Does it change the reality that what is happening? The reasons that lead to this, both social, economic, and political, they won't change. Those factors won't change. But today, sir, the basic thing, as the Prime Minister pointed out, there is a thriving ecosystem. That is thriving, that is promoting and enabling illegal migration. And that is a point that has been explained to American officials, including Stephen Miller. See, why allow the grass to grow and the snake to come? So that has to be dealt at that level, and that is something I think this is something that has to be seen. And our discussion on Modi's visit cannot end without Rahul Gandhi's only comment on this whole trip, with so many things, was that Modi went to America to defend Adani. That, he covered up Adani's, again, fixation on Adani. Arey Baba, before Modi went there, Trump has re-examined all the actions. He has said this Foreign Corruption Act, in which American firms are barred from bribes to get business. He has said that law is against American businesses, because we need American firms to get business by hook or by crook. Not that we support that American companies should have a free hand in bribing everyone. But the sheer hypocrisy in which this issue has been handled by the opposition, and particularly Congress. So this is the thing, sir. So I think we are going to talk more about what has happened in these talks, because as Modi returns to New Delhi, then further follow-up actions are taken. There are more visits, and the whole thing is taken up. Sir, one thing I think this is also pointed out, I am told, that yes, India is biggest source of migration. There are already 7,25,000 undocumented people of Indian origin from India. And outside Latin America, we are the biggest contributors. But apart from that, that is one aspect. The other aspect is there are 3 lakh students who are in the US and who are studying in the universities. And the kind of 3 lakh students, and a figure I am getting is their contribution is some $8 billion annually to US economy, by way of, the school fees and their stay and all that. So not every Indian there is is an alien.
Sir, the average number is $50,000 a year, sir. So if you have 3 lakhs, you multiply 3 lakhs by $50,000 a year. That is the number, sir. I think it is more closer to $15 billion. And I had come up to this number in Canada also. India is contributing close to $16 billion for the number of students that have come to Canada. The number of students is more, but per student cost is a little bit lesser in Canada, which is why people go there. Sir, let us accept one thing. India has a flawed reservation system. Even with the economically weaker sections being given and allocated a reservation percentage, not all states are following it. So only the center related things it can do. In other words, in central universities, they can do EWS. But the way the constitution is today, center cannot tell it cannot direct the state to say, you shall implement EWS in your state, because each state has its own percentage of reservations. These are all things that need to be looked at critically, not Samvidhan badal denge. Bullshit. You have to be able to explain to your electorate what exactly is going on when you get when you just say no changes. in fact, anyway, let's not go there. We have one more topic to go, two more topics to go, sir. Two minutes each, if you don't mind, and then we'll have a couple of questions and wind down. Sir, Yogi-Like Delhi CM, who is it, sir?
Yeah, sir, the first decision that the Prime Minister has to take is who will be the Delhi Chief Minister. A lot of confabulations have been going on here among the BJP legislators, newly elected legislators, BJP functionaries. Now, what I gather is Modi is looking for somebody like Yogi Adityanath, somebody who can take charge and start work. I'm told Modi has already instructed his officials to take up some issues like the Yamuna cleanup, because he had promised a Sabarmati river kind of front in Yamuna. Everybody was laughing, poo-pooing it, saying, how can it happen in Delhi? But Modi is dead serious. But he wants a person who is going to, from day one, start looking at implementing all the promises, or what is called the Modi's guarantee to the people of Delhi. Now, the names, we have been hearing names. Sir, the reason is very simple reason, because BJP secured in terms of percentage 45.56%. And Aam Aadmi Party got 43.57%. So in terms of percentage, it's not a very big gap. So Modi and the BJP leadership is very, very keen. Whoever becomes the Delhi Chief Minister is going to start acting so fast that AAP as an opposition will not be able to challenge the BJP because of delivery on the ground on all the promises. So that's the first qualification that the Prime Minister is going to look at. Who can do that work? Who can completely dedicate himself? Whether a man or a woman, no matter the caste. I'm told this is going to be a big factor in the choice of the person. And also they want a leadership that's going to be aggressive. Aggressive in terms of getting things done. And just as Yogi has managed to drive the bureaucrat, the babus, the entire official bureaucratic machinery. Similarly, somebody who can do that is being looked at. Well, in names I've been hearing about Rekha Gupta. She's a corporator turned MLA she's a woman and belongs to the Baniya community, which is sizable. She's got elected from Shalimar Bagh. I'm hearing about Pravesh Verma. He's also in the race because he's a 𝗟𝗏 leader and he defeated Kejriwal. But in contrary to media report that he is one of the top candidates, he is also there. But the new names I'm hearing is, like Rekha Gupta, Ashish Sood, Pawan Sharma. These are some of the names that are cropping up. And Vijendra Gupta has been a 3-time MLA, but because basically what we are seeing is that there are posts of Assembly Speaker, Deputy Chief Minister, and 6 or 7 ministers. So the role is going to be very tight, close monitoring by the Prime Minister. So that's going to be very, very tough. So the tentative date when you can expect a new Delhi Chief Minister to be sworn in is, I'm told, February the 19th. And they're talking of venue like Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium or the Ram Leela ground. And it is going to be a big affair because you will have several chief ministers and others, coming to felicitate the new government of the BJP after 27 years. That's going to be a big event, sir, coming week. And there's one more subject which is creating a lot of heat south of the Vindhyas, rather in Tamil Nadu, which is this Ministry of Home Affairs, that is Amit Shah's ministry, has issued a notification on February the 13th, immediately granting Y category, that is Y category of security for Vijay on the basis of threat perception seen by our intelligence bureau. And this has created a lot of ripples in Tamil Nadu as to why is center doing this. And this has upset both the DMK and ADMK. Why are they giving importance to this Vijay's new party and to Vijay himself? He has just launched his party last year, Tamil Vetri Katchi, and he is going about, and he is no friend of the BJP. He has made it very clear his ideological enemy is BJP. His political enemy is the DMK. Since he keeps on talking of coalition, both coalition and political alliance for a greenhorn, and But ADMK has reacted very angrily. For instance, the ADMK leader, Deputy General Secretary KP Munuswamy, he says, why is Central trying to give so much importance to him? So it was left to Annamalai to point out, Tamil Nadu BJP leader, look, EPS has also been given central protection. Now, in terms for those not well versed, so security categories are four, X, Y, Z, then Z plus, and finally the SPG, which is only for the Prime Minister. Now, Y category means you will have 8 cops, including couple of commandos who will be guarding you round the clock. At any given time, 8 people will be there, and all your public appearance you will protect it. But I gather the Intelligence Bureau had, because he is an actor and he has been drawing huge crowds. Recently, he went to protest against acquisition of land for a new green airport coming near Chennai. There were a lot of crowds, and the IB assessment was, since the political weather is hotting up in Tamil Nadu ahead of the 2026 election, it was recommended to the Home Ministry that he should be given protection. So Annamalai has been explaining, look, even if he is our political rival or anything, we are not looking. The center is taking decisions on its own on the basis of intelligence inputs. In fact, he has posed a question: why did DMK government did not initiate a security thing? So there you are. Security is again a subject, and all attention in Tamil Nadu, sir, which we will discuss later. Who will align with whom? Who will be left out of alliance? Who will jump alliance? These are the questions that are there, ahead of 2026 elections. And mind you, sir, it's not just Tamil Nadu. Even Assam things are hotting up. You have seen how Assam Chief Minister 𝗍𝗓𝗏 𝗔𝗏 has talked of a Pakistani connection to his Congress rival Gaurav Gogoi. Similarly, in Bengal, West Bengal, which is also headed for election in 2026, there also you are seeing there is a lot of rivalry within Trinamool Congress. One backing the Didi, Mamata Banerjee, and the other backing the nephew, Abhishek Banerjee. And in Kerala, sir, very interesting, Shashi Tharoor wrote an article in the New Indian Express, praising Kerala government's efforts to attract investment. And this has completely upset the local Kerala Congress leaders who are, in any case, not happy with Shashi Tharoor. They said, what is this? We are going to face, this is our chance now. And a senior MP from Thiruvananthapuram is writing a signed highlight piece saying that how Kerala has did a great job, how Pinarayi Vijayan has, is opening up. So there you are, sir.
Thank you so much, Shekhar-ji. Kerala is a wonderful state because 24/7, 365 days a year, as you go along some of the main streets, you will see a small pandal, 10 people will be seated, one guy will be speaking politics. This front, that, this, it's always going on. I mean, they love their politics, and this is really what should I say, unexpected from the off the left field input or googly from Shashi Tharoor. So we'll wait and see how that goes. Thank you so much, Shekhar-ji. We did cover a lot of ground. We just have a few questions to go through today, and then we'll wrap it up, sir. First question is Malini Iyer. Thank you so much for becoming YouTube member. Krishna Kishore, thank you so much. Freebies are costing us defense. Any plans to cut it?
Sir, freebies have just now arrived and they are sitting in our visiting room. They are not going anywhere for the moment now. No government can. Of course, it will be again, the debate will continue because your freebies versus my public welfare program. If you give it, it is freebies. If I do it, it is public welfare, Lok Kalyan. Revadi versus Lok Kalyan. Sir.
Next one, please. Krishna, thank you so much. India needs to get sea access to our eastern front by taking over south of Feni River in Bangladesh, occupy Chattogram, etc. USA be given St. Martin Island to help against Chinese and international pressure. I don't think US is asked for St. Martin. That's all not. In fact, he has given a complete carte blanche. Whatever you want to do in Bangladesh, go do it. So I don't know what Modi is thinking. Sir, any update on that? What is India going to do?
Well, sir, I think pressure is building up on Mohammed Yunus to advance the elections.
Sir, he's holed up in Dubai right now. No idea if he's going to come back.
No, but the whole thing is, that his election schedule has upset the main political parties. He has talked of a December schedule. The political parties, both BNP and Jatiya Party, they are saying, we cannot wait for a constitution to be written and elections to be held. You leave the constitution work to us political parties to debate in parliament. Whereas, sir, Bangladesh is a good example. What happens if NGOs take over governance? It's a classic case. It's a classic case where if NGOs run it, what a mess it can be.
Very true. Sir. Very true. Next one, please. Pawan Kishore wants to know, sir, in the current MOTN, Mood of the Nation poll in India today, 69% yes for caste survey. Are more Indians now moving towards reservation than meritocracy? Do you think INC use it to win 2029?
Well, sir, the whole problem is there are intermediate castes who feel that the number is not adequately reflected in terms of affirmative action. Because OBCs themselves, sir, when Mandal commissions, that 33% was brought, at that time itself there was a clamor that it should actually be 50%. That 33% doesn't cover everybody. Now what has happened is, there is further social engineering work. See, within backward classes, there are most backward classes. Within Dalits, there are Mahadalits. This is a huge issue where can it be done scientifically without stoking the caste passions? That's the question, to be asked before any survey can be undertaken. There may be some scientific arguments that if you are going to you are going to have some welfare measures, some affirmative action, you should know the numbers. But certainly you cannot have a 100% reservation. Supreme Court cap 50% stays. Congress is promising a law to overcome that. But is it possible legally to have a law just to overcome a Supreme Court verdict? That's not permitted in the Constitution. You cannot just have a law to overcome it. Of course, you can say Shah-Bono thing happened. Or one way to do it is you have a quota system and put it in the 9th schedule so that it is cannot challenged in the courts. This is what parties are promising. But every party realizes, sir, this is a bonfire waiting to be lit. It will cause more problems than it can solve. Sir.
Thank you so much, sir. And next one is from Rohit Akshay. Bhagwant Mann recently rules out any discomfort of MLAs, whereas things seem otherwise, wherein 30+ AAP MLAs are in touch with Congress. Will BJP be able to build a strong leader for upcoming elections?
Well, sir, Punjab still remains a challenge for the BJP, no doubt about it. But definitely, it's getting to be a direct battle between Congress and Aam Aadmi Party. And BJP is watching on the sidelines because before that, one interesting development has happened. The government of India has been engaging the Samyukta Kisan Union leaders. Recently, Prahlad Joshi went to Chandigarh to meet these farmers leaders who have been agitating for a legal guarantee for minimum support price. I am told next round of the talks are going to take place with Shivraj Patil again engaging in dialogue. The government is trying to sort out the particular problem in Punjab, which is actually the political challenge for BJP there. That apart, definitely Bhagwant Mann is facing a lot of problem. I was told when Kejriwal called all the MLAs, including Bhagwant Mann, to Delhi to ask, to take a stock. Bhagwant Mann wanted that meeting to pass a resolution expressing faith in his leadership. Kejriwal said no. And these stories keep happening that Kejriwal becoming Punjab CM, whether Kejriwal will contest a by-election from Ludhiana, because Ludhiana West, there is one assembly seat, whether he is serious about getting some post. Some people are saying one of his close aides, Durgesh Pathak, may give up his Rajya Sabha seat so that Kejriwal can get elected as a Rajya Sabha member. That Kejriwal is desperate for some post because he fears arrest and action on him for the past acts. Sir.
Thank you, sir. And I did a program on looking at the feasibility of arresting Kejriwal. You have to look at the court judgments on why he was being granted bail. And ED and CBI have some work to do. The way things stand, at least what they have revealed so far in the court, they have not been able to pinpoint that Kejriwal himself was involved in these crimes. So there is some work cut out. They'll have to find out a way to do that. And let's wait and see how it plays out. Next one, please. Sir, to me, Arvind Kejriwal is now emerged as the biggest threat to the Modi or the BJP ecosystem. Pawar is bye. And Mamata cannot go beyond West Bengal. Sir, my honest thing, people may like this, may not like this thing. My honest feedback is, except for Kejriwal, everybody else they've got some regional power only. This guy can actually go and cut the Congress vote. Even if Congress clings on to the Gandhi dynasty, he is one person who will be able to at least get that other people around him. So they need to be decisive. The Modi government needs to be decisive. If you're going to put him away in jail, make sure that he is going to spend a lot of years in jail. Next one, please. Magnet Ranga wants to know, how would the illegal issue have been handled under a Congress regime? Surely it would have been worse. Why doesn't BJP go on the offensive? Offense in US means follow US law. Simple.
Well, sir, I do not think a Congress government would, because what the Congress wants is Modi protests this treatment of Indians, the Indians who went there illegally. Which government worth his salt will say, no, these people are all, victims, you have to treat them. Yes, in private, through private channels, not officially stated otherwise, India has conveyed to Americans, to the American government, that the issue of their treatment, this has been conveyed. But we'll have to wait and see when the second and third lot arrive, that whether things have changed for them.
Shekhar-ji, it is consistent across countries, sir. The men are being handcuffed. Women and children are not. It's a safety issue. If you are bringing back killers and criminals to face charges in their native country, because some of them escaped using the same mule route. So it is not going to be something that US is going to relax, sir. These guys can talk whatever they want. Umar Abdullah was made to spend 4 hours in the customs. Why one wonders in US? Shah Rukh Khan gets the same 4-hour treatment. You do bad, you will be queried. What did you do recently with all these drug lords and other money laundering people? Today, Omar Abdullah may be a friend of BJP, but he was given the 4-hour treatment in one of his trips to US, sir. Make sure that you are clean first. So, next one, please. Sachin Sharma wants to know, sir, Kerala is 100% literate state, then why jobs is the biggest challenge in Kerala and all have to go overseas for jobs? What kind of 100% literate state is this?
Sir, more than that, the kind of atrocities that one is hearing in Kerala on women, and take this case of college ragging. What kind of sick minds are existing in the campuses of Kerala, where left progressive ideals and Congress secular, all that. But this particular, today, of course, the last 1 year, we haven't heard any major cases of ragging. But Kerala has just reported, and atrocities on women, sir. Somebody again has to jump off a train. These incidents keep, that makes me wonder, what is this 100% literacy rate if this is the kind of situation? Congress in Kerala is attacking only the law and order situation. But my question is deeper. What is happening to the social milieu in Kerala? How is it that people who can read and write, and why is this condition of women? Sir, even that Me Too movement, which completely shook the Kerala film industry, what did it tell us? I'm not saying it has not happened in Tamil Nadu or Andhra Pradesh. Possibly it has happened. But the extent and the conspiracy of silence and further pressure being brought on people, now some people are withdrawing the cases. So there is definitely something seriously wrong, seriously sick. And look at the latest ragging case, sir. Shocking.
Yes, indeed. And with that, we bring to close today's program, a very eventful session. I urge all our viewers to watch some of the videos that came out in the last 24 hours from P Gurus, especially on the Modi visit to India, to France and United States. We have covered a lot of ground, lot of angles have been explored. Example, one of the things that we said that India needs to do very quickly is there are 5 lakh illegals in US, sir, not 18,000. 18,000 is just the first cut which has been captured. 5 lakh illegals are there. And India needs to have something like a cruise ship in which they can put these people, and they have to start using some of their uninhabited lands on islands and put them there for processing, because you cannot be sure that all of them are Indian citizens. You need to do post-processing. They would have all, destroyed their passports. So a lot of stuff that needs to be done. We'll wait and see how it goes. We gave very helpful suggestions. It's up to the government to pay heed and do the required thing. So thank you so much, 𝗥𝗙𝗧𝗖. This was a very wonderful session. Wonderful to see you. Get the feedback from the ministry people and give us the that is the most important thing. At the end of the day, the dust settles. The bureaucrats have to know what exactly needs to be done. And thanks for pointing out the direction in which the US-India ties are headed. Thank you once again, sir. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Thank you.